So how about a real review after 3,000 miles of the Kove Rally 450? This is not a magazine company. This is not a YouTubeist. This is not a review from someone that goes out riding gravel roads each day for an ice cream and talks about adventure riding, comes back home. This is 3,000 miles of harsh riding, of adventures, of single track, of Baja, of Phx2Vegas, we put bikes through the ringer. I put bikes through the ringer. I push bikes to their limits. Customers ride bikes, beat the crap out of them, give them back to me, and we've got a hell of a lot of maintenance to do after each vacation we do. These bikes are constantly getting maintained, rebuilt, pushed to the edges, sold, new ones coming in. And let me tell you, for adventure bike riding, I am absolutely stoked on Kove Rally 450s. So you either do single track riding and you want a capable dirt bike, right? You want a dirt bike for hard enduro, rocky, single track, all that stuff, you get a dirt bike, right? But if you go the adventure bike world, adventure bikes are big, heavy, and you really can't go much further past the gravel roads before you start getting in trouble. And you start finding your limitations, not just as your skill level, but physically. Big bikes are hard to pick up. And no one's been making an in-between in the middle until Kove came out. And this is a performance race machine that is easy to handle for the average Joe. This is my favorite bike that I put customers on that can't handle a big bike, but doesn't want to be stuck on a dirt bike. This is what we need. And after 3,000 miles, well, how much exactly? Let's find out. I actually think it's 2,900. Wipe this off. We just came back. Where did we come from? Colorado. We did a Colorado adventure. What was that? 2,919 miles. Let me tell you everything. The good, the bad, the ugly, what I love, what issues we've come across, everything. Before I get into that, let me tell you, without a doubt, I am stoked on this bike. It is what the adventure bike world needs. If you want to get away from sport touring bikes, a glorified street bike, you want to get into real off-road adventure riding, Kove is going the direction we need. And their 800s that's coming out, that's like 380 pounds on the X, Rally X version. Oh my God, I'm so excited. But anyways, from the beginning, this bike, I'll tell you straight off, has been reliable, great motor, clutch, everything, no overheating, no issues of like big kinds of anything whatsoever. But there has been some issues. First off is the forks. Well, let me tell you, the suspension is great out of the box, but the fork seal started leaking on me, I don't know, 500 or 800 miles in or something like that. And I mean, like 500 to 800 miles in of hard riding, single track, Sedona, Moab, really harsh testing stuff. I blew the fork seals, and when we went to rebuild them, I don't know what they used for fluid because the fluid looked really gunky. I don't even know how to describe it, but the fluid did not look good. And that shouldn't be that after 500 to 800 miles. So the forks just went bad prematurely. I asked Kove USA if there's something we can interchange these with to have a better quality fork seal. And they said yes, the CRF 450, I think it was a 450, but it was from a Honda CRF. Fork seals fit this. For the exact kind, ask Kove USA. I'm pretty sure it was a 450 from the newer bikes, but ask them to confirm. Anyways, we put new fork seals in that and new quality oil just for like Maxima, like regular off-the-shelf Maxima fork oil. And from 500 to the current 3,000 miles, never had an issue since. everything has been holding up on it great. So I've been trying to overheat the motor. I've never even boiled the coolant over once in regular hard adventure riding. I mean, I know you can go in a Boulder Canyon and start boiling over, but real technical off-road riding, I haven't been able to boil the clutch. I haven't been able to I haven't been able to overboil the coolant yet. And I haven't burned out the clutch or made it start slipping or chirping. And that's with some hard single track riding, keeping up with 300s. I took this on our hardest technical single track trail out here in Phoenix, Arizona. And this held up with the 300s all day and went through everything and rode back home. I have the full race exhaust on this bike. Because I smashed the OEM header, it's exposed right there. When I had the stock, carbon fiber skid plate, which I destroyed, which also destroyed the header. So when I went to go replace it, they had the option to get the full titanium race exhaust. So I got the full titanium race exhaust they use in the car, and I got it upgraded Camel ADV skid plate that will protect this new muffler. Look at that. She eats KTMs. That was from rubbing a KTM in the trailer because we had to fit 12 bikes in that trailer. Oh my god, you don't even want to look in there. I don't even know if you can see in there. Yeah, you don't want to look in there. But there's we just did a 2-month road trip. Everything got back. Everything needs a hell of a lot of maintenance and love to get ready for the October season. So anyways, and everything was stacked in there. But once I put on this full metal exhaust, it's been protecting everything. Metal skid plate through Camel ADV. Protects everything a lot better. We did do physical damage and had failure on this bike from me hitting rocks. If you do anything gnarly off-roads, the carbon fiber skid plate protects the fuel pump, which, is that the fuel pump? It probably is. I think you can see it. But if you hit a rock with a carbon fiber skid plate, it'll break through the carbon and break the fuel pump off, which left me stranded temporarily until I welded it with a JB weld, which held together to get me home. So if you plan to do gnarly off-road riding, get a real skid plate to protect everything on this. And since we did that, I've never had any issues since. What other issues have I had with this bike? There is a check engine light on. I'm not sure. It's been on for a while. It was around sometime I put on this exhaust with, the race exhaust with the ECU. This is the race ECU from the car, all that stuff. And it doesn't run perfect anymore with that ECU. Kind of's got a blubber around 4,000 to 5,000 RPMs, which I'm about to take it to Taco Moto to get a custom dyno tune with Power Commander. Because I need it, the tune doesn't run quite right. Oops, don't blinker still work. Tune doesn't run quite right, and that check engine light's kind of been on that ever since I put that exhaust on. So I don't know if the check engine light's related to the ECU, but it kind of happened the same time frame. So that's a issue I've had too, although it's, hasn't affected anything. What else? I mean, dropped this bike, wrecked it, beat it up. It's really well guarded. I mean, with an aftermarket skid plate, it's been really well guarded. With the tanks, everything's been holding up. Swing arm, back end, subframe, nothing's gotten funky or, haven't found any weak points. What else? Start her up. For the hell of it. Always starts up each time, no issues. She's been a good bike. I'll tell you though, that race exhaust, call me old, but it's way too loud for me. cold, but I want something quieter. They now sell a spark arrestor baffle, which should quiet it up quite a bit. I'm gonna order that. Put that in there just to be a little bit more quiet. Oil changes, I've actually don't know how many oil changes I've done, but I've probably done at least 2, if not 3 oil changes. I basically change it before a big trip, you know, before I go on a 500 mile Sedona trip or a 1,000-mile Phx2Vegas trip. You know, I kind of just do oil changes before we do those trips, and I don't change it locally on the short rides. Each oil change, nothing funky's come out. There's been no metals or flakes or gunky oil, like, what's just signs of carbon fiber plates wearing out. Nothing like that. Oil's been clean. And what else? Oh, one other failure I had. So what was it? Starter related? Yeah, when the starter clutch went bad. And that was because the starter clutch has been proven to work and hold up with this motor until they changed to a dual overhead cam. And that dual overhead cam, for more power, whatever it does, put more stress load on the starter clutch, and the starter clutch went bad. Kove sent a manufacturer updated starter clutch pack. I think it was like the spring inside the clutch would wear out and it wouldn't engage properly. So it's now got a beefier spring on that clutch to hold up, and we replaced that, I don't know, 1,000 miles ago or something. Never had an issue with that since. I mean, that's all my bads. I'm focusing on the bads right now. That's it. Performance, weight, balance. One reason I like this bike a lot more than what I would say the equivalent competition, the closest weight size ratio to this bike is like a Husqvarna 701 or a KTM 690. I would say is the closest comparison to this bike. And the 690 701 motor is a rocket ship of a motor. Everything KTM does with their adventure bikes seems to be the most power. Everything on paper, it's got the best suspension, the best motor, the best this, the best that. But when you put them together as an entire package, is honestly the least favorite adventure bikes I've ever ridden. And let me tell you, I am a big fan of KTM dirt bikes. Their off-road enduro bikes, I really think, are the very, very best dirt bikes there are out there, periods. Nothing comes close to them. The most reliable, the best performance, everything. But when it comes to the adventure world, I really dislike the KTM bikes. It's just, they're never like balanced right. They don't handle right. Yeah, they got a great motor and great suspension and great brakes, but you put them all together as a full package, they're hard to ride, they're intimidating, they're overpowered, and they don't handle right. Same with the 690 and 701. It feels like they put like a KX 500 two-stroke motor inside a Banshee frame. It's like what the crap, this don't go together. It handles weird. The Kove Rally 450, my favorite thing about it, which I'll tell you first, maybe an underpowered motor, but it's smooth and manageable. But besides that, my favorite chassis. It is so balanced, it is so easy to ride, it is so confidence inspiring. You can hit crap at any speed and the chassis is not affected, the chassis is not upset. It'll plow through anything. This is a confidence inspired riding bike to ride. Now the 450 motor, their rally motor, don't think of it like a 450 motocross motor. This has all the power at the top end, which also translates to it is very smooth on the bottom, which means it is very easy to manage. And why that's important is, on the flip side, why I struggle with KTM adventure bikes is there's so much dang power. Even with the electronic aids is an artificial assistance. The point is you always have a ton of power, and it's too much power, and it's hard to manage. This bike is not hard to manage. This bike, you can get up anything and you can control the power that you have. And then when you want extra power, you do gotta give it its full throttle to get all its power. But honestly, personally, I like having a bike riding to its full potential than being scared of another bike and tiptoeing on it, which makes me more timid. It makes me wreck more. It makes me not, it just doesn't make me ride as well. But when I have an underpowered bike, I mean, you know, that's a KLX 140. You know, it's maybe a bad comparison, but when you have an underpowered bike, you can ride the crap out of it. This is a lot more power than KLX 140, obviously, but point being, it's not so much where you're just controlling explosive dynamite the whole time. You can worry about riding and not about too much power, right? I really love the balance. Now, what me personally would like this have a little more power? Yeah, but I can do everything on it that I need to do. And then highway riding, interstate riding, 75, 80 miles an hour. That is something else that you don't understand how stable this bike is. So when I talk about this bike to other people, they're like, just go get a 500. You know, a 500 is better because it has more performance. You know, it's got more of a race motor. You just put like a fairing on it or saddleback and it could be this bike. No, it can't be. That's a motocross frame. I know it's an enduro bike. But that's like in a motocross frame. This is a fully custom, stretched out frame. It is a lot more stable. It's got a longer wheelbase. It's got a lot wider protection. You're sitting on it. You're more protected from the wind. And let me tell you, when you're going 75 miles an hour on that dirt bike but down the interstate, you know you're on a dirt bike. But when you're on the interstate at 75 miles an hour, this thing is solid, planted, smooth. It doesn't vibrate. The motor's extremely smooth. This is not a single cylinder, high revved, strung out race motor. No. All the power's moved to the top, so it is very stable, very easy to ride, very planted, very comfortable to ride. Like an adventure bike. This thing is honestly what I think adventure bike riding should go to. This is a true lightweight, midweight, lightweight adventure bike. What weight class would you put it in? I don't know, but this is a real off-road adventure bike people need to be riding. Let me talk about this. I mean, you know, that's my Kove. This is my T7. This is my personal T7. And let me tell you about the differences. This T7, I mean, I ride hard enduro basically on this adventure bike. There ain't nothing I won't take this bike through, and I got it heavily customized. This is a $20,000, $25,000 bike. I mean, I got $8,000 suspension, you know, big 49 millimeter custom forks, X-Trig clip, triple clamps, national shock. I got skinny moto wheels so I can run mooses in it. I got single front rotor, ABS removed. I mean, I do everything to this bike so I can take it on real gnarly off-road riding. And no matter what work I do to this bike, this is still a big bike. This is 450 pounds or whatever it is. I love this motor. I enjoy the challenge of this bike. But I mean, I've been riding dirt bikes for so long, and every single track trail out there in the Western Coast, there's not a trail I can't get through. I've conquered everything on a dirt bike. Now I want to travel and see the world, but I don't want to be stuck to gravel roads. I want to do it on an adventure bike. And I'll tell you, I think of this to me is full-size adventure bike. I know it's the mid-weight, but this is really a full-size adventure bike. It's just the smallest of the full-size adventure bikes. And I think it's the most capable of full-size adventure bikes. And I love the crap out of it. It's super fun. It's a big challenge. But if I'm being honest, I'm an expert rider, and I can barely manage this bike. I can barely pick it up myself I mean, I'm a strong dude, and I know I got a belly, but I'm a strong dude. I'm 6 foot something, and I can hoist this bike up, but I'm a beast when it comes to riding bikes. You know, I have more beast mode than I do technical skills, and I can man beast this bike, but very, very few people can. You got to have more skill than beast mode. For those that can't and don't want to throw around a big adventure bike, this is what everyone needs. And this is phenomenal bike to ride, and it's so fun, and I enjoy this bike. I'm stoked to have this in the fleet, and I'm stoked to put people on this to go do adventures. Because when we do, when we go from, we're in Phoenix right now. When we go from here to Grand Canyon or Sedona or Superstition Mountains, people don't want to be on a dirt bike for 3 days. And they can't ride that for 3 days. They really can't. Our adventures are 2-track riding, but we don't go on boring gravel roads. I hated. Look, if you want to ride a gravel road adventure, absolutely go for it. Have fun. All power to you. But to me, that's not an off-road adventure, man. If minivans can go down a gravel road, why in the hell am I on an adventure bike? I'd rather be on a minivan with air conditioning and a soda pop holder. Our adventures are 2-track riding, gnarly, rugged, creek crossings, suspension bridges, rocky 4x4 roads. And 99% of people can't handle these bikes in that situation. And they shouldn't be able to. I mean, it's stupid to take a 500-pound bike on that stuff. This is what they need to be riding on adventure bikes, on real adventure trail riding. And this is the direction that I have been waiting for adventure bikes to go. And Kove's coming out to do this, and I love them and I support them for that. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not, nothing. Just, I run what I want. I run what I like. I own our rental business. I could choose whatever I want to do with it. And this is who I want. I'm going to run this for another, several months at least. And then I don't know how or what. I don't know if I'll sell this or sell a different bike or what, but I want to get the Kove 800 next, because the 800 is supposed to be, 380. The Rally X race version, the off-road version, is supposed to be 380 pounds fully fueled. Compared to that, that's 450 some odd pounds fully fueled. And this is, 350, 360? I don't know. But the Kove Rally 800 is supposed to be really close to this weight. And that'll be the in-between bike between this and this. And to me, that'll be the ultimate unicorn for someone that wants a lot of horsepower on a lightweight adventure bike. If you don't want or don't need a lot of horsepower, you don't need a 700 or an 800, then the 450 is phenomenal. This bike's been a winner. I've been very happy with it. Very proud of it. I'm gonna get on one more subject. About reliabilities, about issue, the fork issues, the starter issue I pointed out. I'll say this is my personal prerogative. This is a new company building a new bike from scratch. This ain't a copy. The Kove didn't copy this from anyone. They built this themselves. And the first few years, sure, people are working through little issues like fixing that little starter spring issue. Those are little problems, little things that they are constantly fixing and evolving. And if you want a bike like this, you got to support them now. To keep buying their bikes so they can keep having the income to build and progress and make the bikes better and better. And I mean, I don't mean go buy an unreliable. Oh, there's a bug on me. Oh, it's a moth. Oh, I just don't like bugs. Anyways, where was I? If you don't support them now, they get better, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I wouldn't say go get an unreliable bike to support them. No. This is a reliable bike, and it has been a solid machine for our rental fleet. I send customers out on this bike. That's how confident I am, because I can't send customers out and them get stranded. I need to hold up my business name, and I'm not afraid to send people out on this bike. Support them now. Don't wait for, until they figure out, you know, like every bike comes with a new little starter clutch, like this bike's ready to go now. Get on it and go on adventures now. That's it. This is a great bike. It's a winner. I still run all my KTMs. I still have my Yamaha T7s. I still got Africa Twins in that trailer. I run them all. I'm a rental business, you know. You know, this is a true test. This is, I don't know. There's a real review for you on a Kove Rally 450. Oh, and one other thing. This bike's made in China. You know, I don't care. I really don't care who makes what bike where. I'm not into politics. I don't follow. And I think people are people. To tell me that China's done crap or whatever, Kove didn't do that. Some dude somewhere in China, whatever, I don't even freaking care. Kove makes the bike I want to ride. I don't care where they're from. They're not making the bike I want to ride. They're not making the bike I want to ride. These guys aren't making the bike I want to ride. This is the bike I want to ride. And anywhere in the world can do whatever the crap they're doing, because I want to go dirt bike riding. I want to go off-road adventure riding. And this is the adventure bike I want to ride. Yeah. Chaco likes them.